Hello and welcome. This short video presentation is designed as an introduction for new tour leaders who are joining the UEA Tours of Christie Walk. We'd like to welcome you to Christie Walk in the first instance because we think this is a really special community, and we're very pleased that you've decided to come and join as a tour leader and to be a part of what is a really good message in environmental sustainability and community. Getting to know a bit about the community will obviously take you some time, and you'll have the opportunity to do that by joining tours and potentially by joining activities like community meals or working bees if you so desire. The Christie Walk community would probably like to know a little bit about you as well, so we'll ask you for a short bio and perhaps a photograph so that people know you if they see you around. So for starters, I'd just like to explain a little bit about Urban Ecology, and that is the group that really hosts these tours. Urban Ecology Australia is a not-for-profit organisation promoting sustainable living. It promotes and facilitates ecological cities through education, research, advocacy and development. It was the founding organisation for Christie Walk, so there is a long and deep connection with this community. However, they are now separate entities, and UEA continues to be, involved with Christie Walk. Christie Walk is a sustainable community development in the Adelaide CBD. It was initiated by UEA in 1999 as a demonstration project, and the idea was to build a nature-friendly and people-friendly urban development. The first building was completed in 2001, and the last apartment block, which is the large one on Sturt Street, was finally completed in 2006. Christie Walk has continued as a working example of inner city community and is a successful model in our opinion. It's home to around 40 people. It has evolved considerably since its inception and the first home was built, and it continues to evolve. So people who've been involved in UEA at the beginning but have lost touch with the community may have a different perspective on it from how it looks now. UEA and Christie Walk therefore are now separate organisations but retain multiple connections. Obviously through the tours and the tour guides, some of whom are owners and residents in Christie Walk, and the tours which are of homes in Christie Walk, there is obvious connection there. Many residents and owners of Christie Walk have been members of UEA or are members of UEA, and some have even been members of the board, so it can get confusing. However, the organisations retain a separate profile for some really important reasons, and it's important that you understand that. The tours of Christie Walk are one of the main activities of UEA, and for a long time one of our main groups taking up these tours have been schools. Many of the topics covered in a tour fit with elements of the Australian school curriculum, and we have a lot of schools that visit recurrently year after year, including schools that teach to the International Baccalaureate. Broadly speaking, the topics of any given tour are quite similar, but they can be adapted to suit a particular interest or a theme and a different level of background understanding about sustainable design and community. Obviously, different tour leaders will feel comfortable with different levels of detail on certain topics. Broadly speaking, all of the topics that you can cover in a tour we think fit into two main themes, as you see here. So as you can see, under these two major themes there are loads of topics, and these are just a few really. You could break this down in many different ways. Now, we think that it's important to have a diversity of tour leaders who can cater to a number of groups, who can speak at different levels of detail to these different topics, And so if you have a particular interest area, that's fantastic. We'd like to exploit that and make sure that we utilise that and play to your strengths. In terms of target groups, although we've certainly had plenty of interest from primary schools, secondary schools, and even some tertiary groups, we would really seek to expand this, and we're very happy to hear your ideas if you think there's an area that we haven't yet explored. We certainly have had plenty of visitors who are interested in building their own community, but we'd like to be able to cater to perhaps overseas eco-tourists and other groups that we haven't really tapped into at this point. Now here's a little stylised map of Christie Walk which shows the large apartment block, the small apartment block, the location of the straw bale houses and the townhouses. Also you can see in pink the sort of common areas of the community that are shown. So we've got the large quadrangle where in the northern area where you'll see cars parked, and adjacent to that is the bike shelter, and also not shown on the map near the bike shelter is the communal workshop. On top of the small apartment block is also the rooftop garden, which is another common area, and under the southern car park there's our stormwater collection system of large underground tanks. These are all important elements of the itinerary of a tour, and you'll get to hear more about that when you come on a tour for yourself. As well, I'd like to encourage you to have a look at the manual, the tour guide's manual, which should contain lots of helpful information. And furthermore, we'd really be happy for you to ask plenty of questions so that you can learn as much about the community as possible. And again, thank you for your time and your input, and we're really happy to have you on board.